Check out this VFHL spotlight from our Salon.
So, Alex, I wanted to ask you about the way that propaganda has been used since October 7th. If there's any messages that we've seen that have been injected into the conversation, but also messages that are missing from the conversation that are important from the perspective of propaganda.
The way propaganda often works, the most effective propaganda is one that creates a narrative or a bias in your mind, and especially one that you're not even conscious of. And the way it often it does that is to give you partial information and then allow you to create a narrative in your mind, because the most powerful narrative is one that we create ourselves. So in the case, as you mentioned, of this since October 7th, saying things like unprovoked, when President Biden says, Hamas attacked unprovoked, that creates a narrative that this came out of the blue. And that allows us to create in our own minds that the Hamas or the Palestinians are illogical, as was said, animals and things of that nature, that they're not based on logic. And even though he didn't say it's not based on logic, that's the narrative that we create. So phrases that we've heard, most recently, I heard Secretary of State Blinken say Israel would not reoccupy. That implies that they have deoccupied, when in fact they've been occupying even after their disengagement. So there are a number of those kinds of statements that have been made, since then. Things that are not said are, as you mentioned, are very, very critical. The administration has yet, that I've seen, to acknowledge that there's an occupation. There was a press briefing at the State Department several months ago where one of the journalists asked, "What do you consider the status of the Palestinians in the West Bank?" And the State Department spokesperson would not even use that term, and so he specifically asked, "Do you consider them occupied?" And he would not. The spokesperson would not even answer. So things like leaving occupation, apartheid, blockade out of the conversation is really critical for maintaining this bias that the American public has today.
Voices from the Holy Land film series seeks to offer a different perspective.